Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be digitizing this cute cat that my daughter asked me to make for her. So let's get to it. I already uploaded my image that I want. I'm going to go to digitize and click digitize open shape. I'm going to start with the outline. And since we want it to look 3D, I'm going to start off by doing the cat's tail. I made the width of the cat's tail a little thinner, but later on I ended up changing it back to what it was. You guys, starting off with the outline makes life so much easier. So anytime you want to digitize something, just start with the outline. All right, you guys know the deal. Left click for straight edges, right click for round edges. And don't worry if you mess up a little bit. You can always click backspace and fix it. Or when you're done, you can just click reshape like how I'm about to do right now. So I didn't like that area right there that looks a little sharp. So I clicked reshape and I fixed the nodes the way I wanted it to. And to change the node from being sharp to a round one, just click the spacebar. And yes, you guys, me being me, I have to change the color as I go. You can always pick the color that you want before digitizing, but I always forget. So to prevent the machine from stopping, I'm gonna click triple run and click digitize open shape and go upwards. That's where I'm gonna end up starting my next satin stitch. And immediately I'm gonna click satin, go back to digitize open shape and go downwards, and I'm gonna go around his whole belly. So I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. All right, and when you get to where you want to be, click enter. And that looks pretty good to me. So now we're going to start with his head. Same thing, open, digitize open shape, satin stitch and go upwards, click enter. And same thing for everything else, you guys. Now I'm going to do his ear, then the top of his head, and then the other ear, and so on and so forth. And that doesn't look quite attractive to me, so I'm going to click reshape and fix it the way I like it. So every now and then I zoom out and see how the image looks. I click D to remove the design. I zoom out, see how it looks, and that's when I changed the tail because I felt like it looked a little awkward. And now I'm going to zoom into his little paws and do those. And guys, of course, outlines, we're going to keep them satin, and any small shapes, we'll also keep them satin. I know it's going to look funky, but trust the process. When this stitches out, it's going to look great. I clicked reshape, and I fixed that node that was a straight edge, and I made it a round edge. And you guys, I did his paws after the outline because I want it to look like a 3D image, so I want it to look like his hands are in front of his body. And now I'm gonna click tatami. I like to use pattern number 10. I feel like it always looks the best. I click true view so I could see where I'm putting my nodes. And I want this to overlap just a little bit, okay? Not too much, because when it stitches out, we have to remember there's pull compensation. So I want it to overlap just a little bit. When you get to where you wanna be, you're gonna click enter. And then I'm gonna change the color from brown to white. And you could do this before, but like I said, I always forget. And spacing is at 0.016. I like to change that to 0.017. It gives it less density, so when it stitches out, it's not too much. And then pull compensation, I changed that as well to 0.012. Sequence, I put it upwards so that way it stitches out first. See, and now it looks good. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing for the rest of his body. And for the sequence, you guys, you could always leave it for the end, but I just like to do everything as I go. So whatever I do, I just go and fix it immediately. Same thing, you guys. I'm going to change the color to orange. I'm going to change the spacing from 0.16 to 0.017. And pull compensation, same thing. I'm going to change it from 0.008 to 0.012. Alright, you guys, I'm going to start off with doing his tail, and because it's a small area, I'm going to make it a satin stitch instead of a tatami stitch. It looks nicer and it's less stitches. And don't forget, left click is for straight edges and right click is for round edges. And you guys, do not worry if it looks like craft. You can always change the stitch angles, and then sequence wise, we're going to put it with the yellow. That way we're not changing threads left and right. And we're going to do the same thing for the orange part and the white part. This little guy is so cute. My daughter saw him on Instagram. I think it was a sticker or something. I have to tag the artist. I guess it's supposed to be a candy corn cat. It's so cute. And same thing, yeah, we're going to change the stitch angles and then change the sequence. So we want both oranges to stitch together. And from time to time, I like to zoom out and remove the design and see how everything looks. I'm going to click digitize blocks and do his whiskers. So I'm going to start with a point, then go right, left, right, left. And these are curves, so I'm going to use right click, and then when I get to that point there, I'm going to use a left click. I'm going to click enter, change the color to the same as the outline, and then I'm going to remove stitch angles and add my own stitch angles, which I'm going to make them 90 degrees. Beautiful! Now I'm going to do the same thing for the other whisker. And do you guys see what I'm talking about? Because it's a 3D image, so we did the whiskers after the outline, and look how pretty that looks. Same thing, y'all. Changed the color and I fixed the stitch angles. I grouped them together and then I duplicated it, mirrored it, and I moved it to the other side. That way I don't have to redo everything I just did. I'm going to go to fill, click satin, click circle, and I'm going to do the little kitty's eyes. And you guys, if you're trying to replicate an image, you do not have to make it 100%. Like, who cares? I'm going to use zoom and zoom into his mouth, digitize closed shape. I'm going to do his small little mouth, and then with digitized blocks, I'm going to do the top of his mouth right there. And of course, I'm going to end up fixing the color. I ended up changing it to black because I just felt like the orange was way too much. And that's what's fun with this software. You can do whatever you want, like keep playing with the colors, see what looks nice or what doesn't look nice. And same thing for like the pupil of his eyes. I'm going to click satin stitch, circle, and do those little areas. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. For you professional digitizers, please do not come at me. I am self-taught and I'm just teaching people what I know. And you know what? For what it's worth, my stuff does look good. So now I'm going to do his little cheeks. And you can see right here that I do mess up a little bit. So I try to figure out how to do it and I don't. So I just did whatever. And then I moved it 15%. Well, I mean, I clicked left 15% like 3 or 4 times. And so I don't have to do that again. I click duplicate, move it on the other side, and I'm going to change it to white. Thank you guys. This is where I realized that the eyes and mouth looked really ugly, so I ended up changing it to black. Alright, I'm going to click D so I can remove the design, see how it looks. And then I'm going to look at my sequence, see if everything looks good. It does. So now I'm going to do the heart that's next to his arms. I'm going to click zoom, and then I'm going to click standard shapes, choose a heart, and they're made for you, so might as well use them. And of course I forgot to change the color, so I changed it to white. I zoomed out to see how everything looked, and then I zoomed into his little ears, which is the last thing to do. Digitize closed shape, and I wanted to make this a tatami stitch. So I changed it to tatami, I made it yellow, and I duplicated it, moved it to the other side. I clicked T on my keyboard for true view so I know where to place it. And then I'm going to go to digitize blocks and do that little shade there that's on his ear. So I'm going to left click, and then I'm going to go to the right, and then go left, and I'm going to use a right click, right, because this is a round edge. And once I get to that point there, I'm going to use a left click. clicked enter. I didn't like the stitch angles, so I just clicked remove stitch angles, and that looks pretty great. And you know the deal, duplicate and mirror it and move it to the other side. And so for his ears, I clicked on both of them. I went down and I changed the pattern of the ears. I kind of just chose a random one that I thought looked good. And now that everything's done, I'm just gonna go and see if I want to change anything. So I changed the colors and I made sure the sequence looked good. So you kind of just have to play it at the end and see if everything stitches out good. So it started off with the white, as you can see. The tail is with it. So I put the color of the body with the color of the tail. And I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. And that's it, you guys. I'm gonna click save, export as a PES, and put it on my machine. So I uploaded the design and now I have the machine on. Alrighty, everybody, it's done. I'm gonna take it out. Here's the final product right there. I'm gonna zoom in just a little so you guys could see. Alright, you guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you don't mind giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.